In this video, we'll go over routing in Flask. So to define routes, we have route decorator available to us from Flask. So here is an example. We have defined the root route with the function which needs to be called whenever the user accesses the root route. So whenever the user accesses the root route or the simple slash or just the URL, it will be redirect this function hello world function will be called, and this value will be written. So here we are returning a p tag, and inside p tag we are returning hello world. If I go ahead and run the program, so we can see I have not defined anything path, subpath or anything. The root route is for defining the main route. Whenever we access the URL, like for example, we have something like uh, if we are accessing something like www.google.com, if we don't specify anything after slash, that means we are requesting the root route. So in the same way, when we are accessing the service in the application in development environment with the port number and the localhost IP, or I can change it to localhost. It means same. So since our application is running under 5000 port, I have to write it the 5000 port. So whenever I request this, it means that I'm requesting the root route, and the root route will be the root route whatever the route we have binded to the root route, that function will be called, and whatever is the written value will be written to us in the browser. If I go ahead and look over the document DOM model and look over, we can see that the return value has the written value was we are returning the p tag with inside hello world written. We are getting the same value that is being written from the browser, from our service to the browser from our service. So the same goes. And now there is one problem that the Flask has tried to solve. The problem is values. So suppose if I want to access some values from the route, we have route like users and one, and suppose I want to retrieve this one or access this one. So to access this one, Flask has a concept called variable rules, through which we can access the values that are being passed in the path, in the request URL path. So if here we have defined two routes with the variable name scope, and here it contains the name value or the name path or name variable, which will be passed to our function that is being bind to that route, and the name value will be passed as a parameter to that function that we can access and use in our function. So here I have access the name variable and returning with hello name variable. The same goes for this second is same as the above, but the difference is this part. It means we can also define the variable scope, variable use or the variable name with type of what type value we want to access. So for example, of what type we want it to be converted. So for example, we can tell it that we want integer or that we want string. There are various types which are supported. We can convert the value to that, and that will be after conversion will be passed to our function. Now let's run the program and see what we'll get. So as you can see, we are getting an error, which means that we are defining the same function to the endpoint. So we cannot do that. We cannot have same function to endpoints. We cannot use the same function twice for different endpoints. So for example, if I convert it to users, I will still get the error because we cannot use the same function name twice. Because Python internally overrides the function, and the function then there will be only one function which will be pointing So we won't have the first or second function because the second function have already written the name of that function. So it is mandatory that we define the separate name for the functions. So for example, here I am changing it to world. So if I run it again, now our service is up and we are not seeing any problem. So I have go and request for the route. So for example, I have we have one of the route with the name variable that is being passed to the function. So here we are seeing hello world Chandan. This is the second route that is being called. If we go and check, we are getting the second route. We can see the from the return value hello world. The first route is being not called. If I go ahead and make the both the routes same, then what do you think will which function will be called? Because both of them are same, but there is only one difference that we are going to that we are formatting here, that we are making conversion here before passing it to the function. You may say that the second will be called, since second will override the first function. Let's see what happens. You can see that we are getting the first function instead of the second function. The in Flask, if we have already defined one route with the function, then the if we define it again, then it won't override the first function. Instead of that, it will just reject and do nothing with the second function. So we won't have access to the second function, and we will only have access to the first function. So here we are only access to the first function, and we are not getting the second function. If I go ahead and commit it out, then as you expected, we'll get the second route, and that will be done. Okay, that is from this video. We'll go over next concepts in the